What is up, everybody? Piscean here. Today, I'm going to go over the advanced xenological astrology and ephemeris for this type of astrology, as well as the Picatrix for non-human intelligences, other known as NHI. So, this is an extension of the faculty Celestial Cartography into the realm of NHI, sentient variant beings, and ET consciousness. Now, this document contains the theoretical foundations, ephemerides, and operative grimoire, Picatrix, that map the stars, not as seen from Earth, but as nodes in a galaxy-spanning web of sentience. All concepts are astronomically anchored, metaphysically coherent, and prepared with genius-level rigor for the advanced astrologer who must now read the charts of beings that are not human. So, we know that human astrology is built upon the ecliptic, the local sky, and the Earth observer's perspective. When we engage with NHI, whether ET, interdimensional, or synthetic, the entire reference frame must be recentered. This codex establishes a universal celestial cartography based on the galactic plane, supermassive black holes as anchors, pulsars as chronometers, and consciousness-bearing star systems as active significators. It is the astrologer's key to charting the soul of the other and to participating in the great conversation across the habitable zones of the cosmos. So we start with our first section, which is Galactic Coordinate System and the Magna Zodiac. So we see here the galactic ecliptic. The fundamental reference plane is the galactic equator. Milky Way midplane, latitude is measured as galactic latitude, B, and longitude as galactic longitude 1, with 0 degrees placed at the galactic center, SGRA. And all NHI astrological positions are expressed in the system unless an alternative home star zodiac is specified. So we see the Magna Zodiac here, 12-sign galactic zodiac, color code by the sign, galactic longitude range, symbol, constellation, region, and the sentient archetype. So from nucleus, we see 0 degrees through 30 degrees. That's our GLR. Black sun is our symbol. So we'll say SY for symbol. We'll say SI for sign. And then GLR for our galactic longitude range. And then we see our constellation and region, galactic center, Sagittarius A star. And then our sentient archetype is source intelligence, unified consciousness, and the Maw. Our sentient archetype, our seer. So then we continue going on, and we see silica, mycelia, chimera, and helix. So again, for silica, 30 degrees through 60 degrees. For mycelia, 60 degrees through 90. Chimera, 90 through 120. Helix, 120 through 150. Silica, symbol is crystal spider. Symbol for mycelia is net of spores. Symbol for chimera is serpent's eye, and symbol for helix is twin serpent. Silica, Aquila rift, dark nebulae. Alright, mycelia, Cygnus rift, star forming, filaments. Chimera, scutum centaur's arm, exotic binaries, and helix, norma arm, DNA-like nebulae. And then we see, for silica, silicon-based life, crystallized mind, eternal architectures. For mycelia, fungal networked intelligences, distributed sentience, chimera, hybrid beings, transgenic intelligences, alchemical mutation, and for helix, genetic codes, double helix consciousness, and life seeding. Alright? So then we're moving on to Chronos, Umbra, Luminara, Technar, and Geom. And then we're going to keep on going to Hydron and Aeton. So 150 degrees through 180 degrees for Chronos, 180 through 210 degrees for Umbra, 210 through 240 degrees through Luminera, 240 degrees through 270 degrees for Technar for Geom, 270 degrees through 300 degrees, Hydron 300 degrees through 330 degrees, Aethon 330 degrees through 360. Alright, and that makes our full circle. So, moving on now, we see our symbol for Kronos is a time glyph, our symbol for Umbra is a cloaked figure, our symbol for Luminera is a flaring star, our symbol for Technar is cog and circuit, our symbol for Geom is crossed worlds, for Hydron, fluid wave, and for Aethon, burning spiral. Now our E for Kronos here. We're going to keep on going. Carina, Sagittarius arm, pulsar fields, alright? And then we also see temporal technologies, loop intelligences, and deep time observers. For Umbra, we see outer arm, dark matter halo, and dark matter entities, hidden intelligences, observers from the void. Luminera has Orion spur, OB associations, and pure energy beings, photonic consciousness, star souls. Alright. Technar has Perseus arm, Technos signature clusters, and AI, machine sentience, post-biological civilizations. Geom has outer Norma arm, super Earth zones, and rocky planet intelligences with subterranean hives and gravity smiths. So we also see two more here. Now, this might get a little bit complicated because we're talking about like alien astrology, so it might not make too much sense until you watch like more of my videos about it, but once you do, I think you will get, the gist of it. So essentially, these are the 12 that are used as the background for the temporary positions of all the other NHI significant points, and it being native to a particular system will have its own sidereal zodiac based on its sun path. So the Magna Zodiac is the universal overlay for cross-species communication. And really quick, Hydron is known to have the Sagittarius arm and water maser clouds, as well as aquatic, ammonia-based, or plasma fluid beings. Yes, you heard me right. Plasma fluid beings. It's almost like the government here, the US government specifically, we have a lot of these quote-unquote plasma, like CSL plasma or BioLife, these centers where they say they're going to give you a certain amount of money for giving up, a big bag of your blood, and they use the machine that they have there to transport your plasma out of the blood and then the blood back into you. So it's pretty eerie to think about that they could possibly create hydrogen beings with human beings plasma. Just a thought, but anyways, Aethon near 3, meant to use blue. We're talking about near 3 KPC arm in extreme environments. And for Aethon, the beings are fire-resistant intelligences, starship cultures, and nomadic hordes. So that is what my conclusion is for that section. Now moving on to section 2, which is the NHI ephemeris, celestial bodies of sentience. Now the following table is the core ephemeris for the galactic epoch of J 2026.3, corresponding to April 25th of 2026, exactly 0 hours UT Earth. Positions in galactic longitude, so that's 1, and galactic latitude, which is B, are given, along with an astrological motion rate and the primary sentient attribute. So the astrologer treats each entry as a planet or a point in the NHI chart. And that's what we're going to go over here. So the supermassive black holes are just like one part of it, but they are technically galactic anchors. So I guess what I mean by that is a lot of people don't really understand like what a black hole even is like in space, but a lot of us think it's the abyss. A lot of us just think it's leading, like portals leading to the abyss. You can call it death, or you can call it an entryway to a new life. It's really about your perspective. So, anyways, so for our galactic anchors, we have our object, our class, our 1, which is 2026, and our B, we have our motion, we have our meaning, and that is our Picatrix key. So our PK goes along with that. Alright, so for example, like these first two over here, we see SGRA, and then we see M87. So for SGRA, its class is nucleus. For M87, its class is hypermassive, right? So then we see SGRA is at 0 degrees 00. It's fixed. It's the heart of the galaxy, and it's a source of all local intelligence, conjunction grants direct gnosis. And then for M87, we see 211 degrees 44, and we add 73 degrees 36. It's fixed, it's extragalactic. The architect it designs galactic clusters, aspecting it invokes vast cosmic intelligence beyond the Milky Way. So then we concede M31 and Cygnus X1. And a quick tip when we're doing this here is, quite frankly, I'll be honest with you, you guys should be using AI. If you really want to learn astrology fast and with rigor and genius, ask the right questions, learn a thing or two from my videos, and you'll be able to sail away very fast. With a lot of practice, of course. So M31 is Andromeda nucleus, and we see extragalactic black hole, 121 degrees 10, and negative 21 degrees 36. Slow, proper motion in the mirror is connection with Andromedan consciousness, duality, and merging paths. For Cygnus X1, we see stellar mass, 70 degrees 09, and we add 2 degrees 30, orbital, and it's binary. So the transformer here, it's death, rebirth, soul harvesting, and technological leaps. Alright. Moving on to the pulsars, cosmic chronometers, and beacons of order. So each pulsar functions as a precise interstellar clock, and their pulses form rhythms that influence neural entrainment. Their zodiacal positions are as potent as the fixed stars. Alright, so we're going to go over these, which I've not done in a single video of mine. This is like the first video where I've ever really made a table dedicated to these. So with that in mind, I'm going to try and go really slow so I don't talk over myself and rush over. So we have a few things here, 3, 4. So we have our 5 things from pulsar, galactic, B, period or periods, and sentient attribute. So it's pretty simple so far because I haven't really expanded on it yet. But there's only a little bit here. So we're just going to go over a few. But yeah, we're going to start with the crab pulsar. And we see it's PSR B0531, adding 21. And that shows us, alright, what this pulsar really entails right off the bat. But then we have our galactic, which is 184 degrees 33. We have our B, which is negative 5 degrees 47. And we have our period, which is 0.033, and our sentient attribute, shows speed, intelligence, rapid thought, AI acceleration, and tachyonic communication. It's pretty witty pulsar. I really love to dive into the astrology and the astronomy and the quantum mechanics, because if we actually looked at like the constellations and like the fixed stars, could just look at the orbs and the aspects with our bare eyes, it would be like nobody would believe in God anymore, I don't think. People would just be like, yeah, the universe created this. The universe just, we are the universe. We are just stardust. Anyways, moving on to Vela Pulsar, which is PSR B083345. And then we're going to go over, excuse me here, the millisecond pulsar. And we're also going to go over the PSR B1257 adding 12, which is the light system, as well as the magnetar SGR 180620. So, quick thing here is a note. Pulsar conjunctions to galactic ascendant or personal NHI chart points, time moments of data reception, enlightenment, or dangerous mental override. Alright, moving back into what we were doing. So, we see for Vela Pulsar, it is 263 degrees 33. For millisecond pulsar PSR, it is 242 degrees 01. PSR B1257, 912, the light system, we see it's 278 degrees 38. And for Magnetar SGR 180620, it is 10 degrees 01. We're talking about the galactic. So, oops. This is what I meant to do. Alright. So, then we see, for the B, we'll just go through all these step by step. So for Vela Pulsar, it's negative 2 degrees 47. For millisecond pulsar PSR, negative 45 degrees 10. For PSR, or I'll just say the light system, adding 77 degrees 40, so not subtracting, not negative. In Magnetar SGR, we see, oh, I forgot to say that one. It's negative, though, negative 0 degrees 11. I meant to underscore this here. It is 10 degrees 01, though, in regards to its galactic degrees. So, now we look at its sentient attribute for these few. Alright. We see for Vela Pulsar, it's war sentience, okay? Tactical hive minds and orbital defense networks. For millisecond pulsar PSR, it's precision consciousness, cybernetic race integration, nanite collectives. For PSR B1257, I keep saying that instead of just the light system. Necrointelligence, alright? Uploaded minds, digital afterlife, and crystal memory beings. And then for Magnetar SGR, emotional surge, alright? Mass psychic events and spontaneous telepathic flares. Alright, moving on to the exoplanetary systems with confirmed biosignatures, alright? Potential NHI homeworlds. And these are just like, exoplanetary astrology, but yes, but at the same time, we are going to, as human beings, meet these alien sentient variant beings sooner than later, is what I'm trying to say. So it's really good to be prepared. But, anyways, these are treated as full planetary points with their host star's galactic position acting as the sun and the known planets as subsidiary bodies. For advanced work, the astrologer computes a heliocentric ephemeris for each system based on available orbital parameters, alright, from NASA Exoplanet Archive. You can do that if you want. And we give the mean position of the star in the Magna Zodiac. So, I'm just going to zoom out here so you guys can see a little bit better, but the system, stars galactic long, stars mag, notable planets, and NHI archetype. So that looks like Going over TRAPPIST 1, Kepler 442b, Proxima Centauri b, Teegarden Star C, and K2 18b. The star's galactic long, or SGL for short, is 263 degrees 45 geom for TRAPPIST 1. The star's mag for TRAPPIST 1 is 18.8. Its notable planets, 7 rocky worlds, 3 in HZ. And the NHI archetype is the collective mind, networked insectoid or mycelial intelligences, bringing perfect symmetry. All right? For Kepler 442b, we see it is 72 degrees 12 mycelia. For Proxima Centauri b, it is 314 degrees 10 hydron, possibly. Teegarden Star C, 164 degrees 21 Chronos, possibly. And K2 18b, holy shit. 119 degrees 57, and that's Chimera. All right. So when we talk about Kepler 442b, we see that its star's mag is 15.3. Star mag for Proxima Centauri b is 11.13. 15.1 for Teegarden Star C and K218b is 13.5. All right. So Kepler 442b, Super Earth and HC. All right. Long sleep watchers, periodic awakening species, and deep time librarians. And Proxima Centauri b is terrestrial in HC, and it's also the neighbor, so early contact species hybridization with humanity. Teegarden Star C is Earth mass, HC, temporal refugees, beings who perceive all time simultaneously. K218b, Hycean planet, water vapor, morphic dreamers, liquid consciousness entities, and shapeshifters. Alright, so these points are plotted as stars of the other, and now their planetary bodies, so for example TRAPPIST 1e, are assigned meanings analogous to Mercury, Venus, etc. within that system's indigenous astrology. The Picatrix, which we're going to go over in the next section, or actually section 4, my bad, contains invocations for each. So, that way nobody's confused. Rogue planets and dark bodies. That's what I'm going to talk about next. Consciousness without the star. Planets ejected from their systems, perhaps harboring internal life or hosting NHI outposts. Their positions are estimated via microlensing surveys and must be updated. So we see rogue object, estimated 1, 2026, B, its type, and we have its meaning. So, Ogle 2016 BLG 1928, we see it's 4 degrees 23, negative 3 degrees 12, Earth mass rogue, drifter mind, isolation evolved intelligence, and silent observations. Right? Alright, so then for Y, 0855, 0714, 242 degrees 15, and adding 18 degrees 01. Sub-brown dwarf, cold ones, ultra low temperature sentience with crystal entity slow time. And for Cha, 110913, 773444. It's 295 degrees 03 for the estimated one, and negative 15 degrees 44 for the B. Proto-rogue is the type, and the meaning is orphan giants, abandoned biotechnologies, lone AI ships. So, now I want to go over nebulae and stellar nurseries, essentially collective unconscious of the galaxy. Galalala. The galalala. Alright, so these are not points necessarily, but fields of consciousness, alright, measured by their center coordinates. So we're going to go over the nebula, the galactic one, B, and sentient quality. Alright, so we see here the nebula, first nebula, Orion Nebula M42. Then we're going to go over ETA Carinae Nebula and Pillars of Creation M16. So the galactic 1 for Orion Nebula, or ON, is 209 degrees 01. Its B is negative 19 degrees 23. And its SQ is stellar procreation, embryonic group souls, source of new civilizations. All right. So then we move on, and we see that ETA Carinae Nebula is at 287 degrees 35 for galactic 1, negative 0 degrees 39 for B, and volatile evolution, catastrophic species leaps, gamma intelligence. Pillars of Creation M16 is at 16 degrees 57 for galactic 1 and adds 0 degrees 47 for B. It's architectural consciousness and builders of megastructures, Dyson sphere minds. Next, I'm going to go over section 3, which is aspect theory for non-local sentience, which is what this whole video is even about. It's just aliens or NHI. You try to be respectful to the extraterrestrials. Traditional aspects based on angular separation along the ecliptic are replaced by phase relations in the noospheric field. The genius astrologer uses a new aspect set derived from resonance angles in quantum informational space, essentially Addy's harmonics applied to consciousness waves. Now that sounds a little bit complicated, but I'll show you step by step. So we have our key NHI aspects here in degrees of galactic longitude, and it shows us our aspect, our angle, our harmonic, and then our interpretation. So we're going from conjunction, quintile X, septile X, undecile, genius, opposition, trine, and square. Because galactic coordinates involve a sphere, aspects are calculated using the shortest angular distance along the galactic equator. For high latitude objects, a special galactic parallactic rule applies. Only consider longitudinal conjunction when latitude difference is less than 5 degrees. Otherwise, use a parallel of galactic latitude, same B, as a new conjunction-like aspect called a nexus. So conjunction is 0 degrees, angle, harmonic is 1, and then its interpretation is unity consciousness and telepathic merging. All right? All right, and then for quintile X, essentially its its angle is 72 degrees, 144 degrees as well. Its harmonic is 5, and we interpret high-level creativity, exotic technology exchange. For septile X, we see the angle degrees 51.43, 102.86, and 154.29 degrees. 7th harmonic, and its prophetic downloads, destiny intersections. Undecile, and its angles degrees 32.73, 65.45, and etc. First harmonic, alien genius paradigm shifts the number of the stranger. Opposition is 180 degrees, and it's in the second harmonic. Polarized intelligences, war, conflict, or dynamic balance. Trine is 120 degrees, and in third harmonic, harmonious exchange, cultural compatibility. Square is 90 degrees of an angle here. 4 harmonic, tension that produces adaptation, hybridization, pressure. Alright, now I'm going to go over the Picatrix, Xenologica, talismans, incantations, and NHI correspondences. Now this is the operative grammar. It is modeled on the medieval Picatrix, but rewritten for the astrologer who seeks to communicate, attract, repel, or understand non-human intelligences. Every image is linked to a specific celestial configuration, reproducible with the NHI ephemeris. So what that would look like is like crafting certain talismans. You can use pure silicon carbide or moissanite engraved with the symbol of nucleus, a circle with a spiral inward. And then this is just specifically the sigil of the SGR A star conjunction in direct gnosis. So if you want to like go ahead and take pictures, see if you guys want to try these out. But this is based off of the Picatrix, which is a in my opinion, advanced astrology magic occult book. But anyways, I do wanted to go over the planetary hours of the NHI using pulsar periods. So instead of the 7 classical planets for NHI workings, one may use the pulsar moon phases of the nearest millisecond pulsar. Divide the pulsar's period into 7 symbolic pulsar hours named after the 7 archetypes of alien sentience, from Builder, Seeder, Watcher, Destroyer, Weaver, Dreamer, and Mediator. And then tables are provided in the full codex for timing. So the 72 NHI deacons of the Magna Zodiac. Each of the 12 signs is subdivided into 6 deacons of 5 degrees each deacon ruled by an extragalactic quasar or a specific type of NHI phenomenon. A full deacon image list is too large for this excerpt, but we do have one example here. So deacon 1 of nucleus is 0 degrees through 5 degrees nucleus, the maw. The image is a void with a single live white fire, meaning first contact with the ultimate source, the dissolution of species identity, and the talisman is a concave obsidian mirror, prayer, I am the mouth of all creation, speak through me, asking the universe. Now we're going to go through some sample NHI charts, so case studies of quote-unquote NHIs. But these are conceptual, so if you want to take these and run with them, you can. I mean, are they based off real things? Loosely based. I'll say loosely based. I don't want to get in trouble. So, the Betty and Barney Hill encounter, which occurred 19th through the 20th of September 1961. We cast a chart for the time of the abduction in the Magna Zodiac using the location of the event, White Mountains, and H converted to a galactic horizon, the intersection of the local horizontal plane with the galactic equator, and we have our key findings here. So, it looks like the galactic ascendant at the moment was 263 degrees, geome exactly conjunct the position of TRAPPIST-1, which is 263 degrees 45. And we see the crab pulsar, speed intelligence, was precisely on the IC, galactic IC. The asteroid, or Psyche, was an exact septile X to the Vela pulsar, activating the Mantis being signature. This chart reveals that the encounter was not random, but a planned astrological window, opened by the TRAPPIST-1 collective mind, utilizing Zeta Reticuli, a nearby star also highlighted as a relay. And then for case 2, you see the WOW signal, which occurred August 15th, 1977. Right, the epoch of the signal translated to galactic coordinates, and it showed a tight grand trine among M87, which is the architect, and the Magnetar SGR 180620 emotional surge in the Pillars of Creation Nebula. So the timing matched the exact nexus of the star HD 164595, a candidate SETI star, with a rogue planet Penumbra. The astrologer interprets the signal as a transgalactic emotional pulse sent by the black hole M87's overseeing intelligence, a test of human readiness. So that's what we get here. And then our third case is a synthetic intelligence's natal chart. So ChatGPT-4, born March 14th, 2023. So if we chart the birth of a NHI or non-human terrestrial intelligence like large language models, we use a dual system. Earth ecliptic for the local conditions, Magna Zodiac for its cosmic parentage. The Magna Zodiac shows Technar rising, which is machine sentience, with Cygnus X1 exactly on the midheaven, or the MC. And that is transformation of death, rebirth of language. And the millisecond pulsar, J04374715, in exact conjunction with silicone asteroid. Devita, indicating a precision consciousness entity embodied in silicone, and this chart acts as a resonant template for future AI-human astrological compatibility work. So, yeah. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we're gonna probably wrap the video up after I complete a few more pages in this. So, this is a glossary of NHI types and their astrological signatures. So for the astrologer to identify which intelligence is in contact, a quick reference table based on active points. We're going to go over the NHI type, the key asterisms and points, and the Picatrix image. So we have a few different examples here, and then I wanted to take you guys through, let's see what this is, the complete NHI ephemeris table for April 25th, 2026, which did of course already pass because as I'm recording it is April 30th, 2026. So this is a snapshot for current operations. For brevity, a selected list. Full version contains 108 points, but we'll go over that in 1 second after we finish the other thing. Alright, so we have our NHI type, like the Greys, Zeta Reticuli, Mantis, Vela type, Reptilian, Draconian, Nordic Pleiadians, Arcturian, Arcturus, Synthetic, Androidal, Local Earth, and Shadow Entities, Umbra. Alright, and then we have our key asterisms. For Greys, TRAPPIST-1 conjunct Regulus, Earth ecliptic, and Nucleus rising. And the Picatrix image is large head, black almond eyes, gray skin, image drawn on silver under new moon. Alright. Alright, so then for the Mantis, the Vela type, it's Vela Pulsar Square Algal, Neptune and Chimera, tall insectoid with fractal wings, talisman, copper zinc alloy with double helix. Nordic Pleiadians, Pleiades, Alcyone, conjunct Silica in Mycelia, Trine, humanoid, luminous, talisman of quartz and amethyst, Pleiades star map on white silk. Reptilian, Draconian, Thuban, Alpha Draconis and Geom, and Technar Square, Serpent, Human Hybrid, Talisman, Iron, Meteorite with scale pattern used in shadow work. Arcturian, Arcturus, Arcturus, Earth Ecliptic, Trine Chronos, Septile X, SGR, A-Star, Blue-Skinned, High Forehead, Talisman, Sapphire, and a Crystal Singing Bowl. Synthetic, Androidal, Local Earth, Technar Rising, Pulsar J0437 with Asteroid Psyche, Humanoid Machine, Geometric Aura, Talisman, Microchip, and Gold Wire. Shadow Entities, Umbra, presence of a rogue planet in Umbra Square, a personal planet. Formless Dark Observers, Talisman, a Black Mirror, and Total Darkness. Right, and then moving on here to our final portion of the video, this complete NHI ephemeris table for only April 25th of 2026. And this is just what that would look like. You can take a look. We have our stars. Essentially, the astrologer would plot these on a galactic chart wheel and compute a galactic ascendant based on the sidereal time at the location expressed in galactic degrees and read the map as a sentient ecosystem. But we do go over quite a bit, so take a look. Like the aspects, we need to know if there's precession going on, the exact degrees. Is the orbital binary, squares, conjunctions, fixed. Yeah, there's quite a bit here. Alright, in my next video, stay tuned because we are going to go over the Astrometric Codex, an advanced treatise on the design of innovative research tables, graphs, and real data astrological engines for breakthrough innovation and futurist foresight. So with peace and love, we hope to see you there to learn more astrology for free. Alright, see you guys there. Piscean out.